Alright, guys. We've got REYNOR for Basilisk in the bottom left side. It's the offline RSL finals, and this Chad Gamar REYNOR coming fresh from that impressive series that he had against the big dog and that ZVT in the earlier stage. Maybe I won't spoil it. If you guys haven't already watched, go any of the videos recently, go check out the previous ones. And you probably already spoiled because you know he's here. Anyways. REYNOR beat Maru, which was really impressive. But now he's facing off against Classic. Classic knows how to defend, he knows how to play late game, and he has been severely nerfed in PvT this patch. But what about PvZ? I haven't actually seen that much of Classic's PvZ. Cyril's been hibernating because there's no big tournaments. He doesn't leave his sauna cabin out in the Finnish woods for less than $20,000. So we haven't seen as many of those big Classic macro games. REYNOR has been trying to play Ultras with Microbial Shroud a little bit. It's not a style you want to force. You want to go to it as a result of the game getting forced to the late game, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, Microbial Shroud, initially I thought, oh, it'd be pretty good against Terran because it's good against like all Terran units that aren't ghosts. Turns out, making it a friggin' late game upgrade that costs a ton of energy to cast means you never get it out before ghosts are out, or very rarely. Maybe Cyril will innovate and find a way, but... So it's not really used Microbial Shroud against Terran, but against Protoss, it is still a nice choice in the end game, and we know REYNOR's been experimenting with it as well as a few others. It more than halves the damage, effectively, because armor comes in after it halves the damage, I believe, or maybe it's before, whichever way it works. Basically, it ends up dropping the immortal damage significantly, and Ultras can actually do pretty decently against immortals. I mean, you're still dealing with a melee against ranged army dynamic, which means you do need to surround the immortals, otherwise they can just stutter step or hide in choke points where the ultras can't get at them. Yeah. Ultras are always a great army in the open ground. If your opponent's roaming the map, you can sandwich them from two sides. One of the best units in the game. And as a melee unit, obviously not that great otherwise. And there's, a lot of people speak in absolutes in StarCraft. Most Zerg players are very ignorant when it comes to how to actually use melee units correctly. I go, mass Zergling's bad. And then you'll see REYNOR go, mass Zergling and beat top Protoss and Terran players and go into Ultras. They go, Ultras are bad. You only build them when you want to throw games. REYNOR's one of the best at using these units because he actually understands how to flank and surround and counterattack and, get surface area on your opponent. But that's really the big thing. And one of the things you have to accept if you're playing a melee style, not that I know he's going to do that, but I assume in the best of 7 he's going to do it at least once. Especially, and this is a good map for it actually as well, long map. Lots of bases, quite a big spread. It's where melee units are good. Melee units aren't things you can force situations with. You have to kind of like set yourself up and wait for your opponent to make a mistake a little bit and poke and prod and split your army up and create pressure and movement. And then you kind of have to like find the engagement. And that's something where most players want to be able to grab their army and shove it into the opponent. And if that doesn't work, they go, oh, this is bad. It doesn't work. And that always... I always watch the guys charging Ultras into a tiny choke point, all stuck behind each other in a conga line. And they're complaining that Ultras aren't good. And I'm like, you aren't good. You're using them wrong. Don't hate on my chunky boys. Space Cows are amazing. Hungry Ultra is one of my favorite games. We'll see if we get to see it in this series. Now, Classic, probably going to be using a lot of Psystorm. Psystorm, many players have told me, is better at defending against timings than it used to be. Oracle will grab a drone on the rally, and he's going to get one more. Not a bad start. He does take a lot of damage. I think Rain is fine with that. But yeah, I think Storm, because it's got the bigger radius, bigger time duration, it is a bit better for like defending a big Baneling Hydra attack, Ravager Bane attack, that sort of stuff. But late game it falls off and it's nowhere near as good as it used to be. So, I feel like Cyril should dominate Classic in late game this patch, just due to Storm being nerfed and Broodlords being a bit better, and I think he was already doing well against Classic with better energy recharge, better Storm in the previous patch. A couple drones get frozen, not the end of the world. Oracle takes a bit of damage. Oracle on the right side came in though. Oh! 6 kills! Did he just get 4? Oh man, he just caught 4 kills without that Spore being done. REYNOR with a bit of a doo-doo there. A bit of a doo-doo. Solid Adept defense as well, and I think these Adepts are going to shade across the map now, are they? I think he's thinking about it. Charge +1, he's going to go... Ooh, Nidus Worm Swarmhost is really good against charge styles. If Classic wants to play a lot of charge, Nidus Swarmhost would be really good. The problem is, we know, and he's spotted the Evo, that REYNOR loves to open melee almost every ZVP. And if you open melee every game, skipping Blink becomes a very attractive style. +1 melee Zerglings is very good for shutting down Blink Stalkers. But if you just go straight to charge early Storm, early Archons, it can be really hard for Reynor, who's got it. No Lair, no Roach Warren, no Bay Nest. It's 520. I've criticized Reynor for his extreme heinous greed a lot recently, guys. And lack of mid-game scouting. These Reynor's two biggest weaknesses are super obscene greed, just crazy greed, and lack of scouting in the mid-game. Because he doesn't have a lair, he literally can't overseer scout. All he can do is poke around the front, check the gas timings, check if probing's happening. A lot of gateways coming up. Prism might go, he might try to morph Archons and then unload 2 Archons and warp in 8 Zealots in the main. That's a really good move. Can be hard to deal with. But Lings track it. Good spotting by Reynor. But still no Roach Warren or Bane Nest is crazy, man. 6-minute Roach Warren. Reynor's greed knows no bounds. He's building 4 gases right now, so he's kind of done a ZVT build, a rule of 1 gas, essentially. Archons are just going to morph at home, it looks like. Where are these Archons, guys? Oh, in the main. He's just going to go home and pick them up, realizing he's being tracked. Okay, good move, good move. And this is really good. The fact that Reynor tracked that so well, he's delayed this a lot. Now, Reynor, I think, wanted to drone this 4th greedily. Now he's been forced away from that. Does he drop a Spire? I think Spire is actually a good play here. Spire or Infestation needs to go up very soon, or Reynor's going to be falling behind in tech. Oh, this is the Archon Zealot drop I talked about. But he's going to lose the Prism. There's no Roaches, though. There's 46 Lings, but they're mostly on the other side of the map. One Queen's already fallen. The other Queens are about to go down. Queens. Oh, no. He's going to lose almost all of his Queens, guys. The Archon Zealot's going to hold the ramp. Look at that. 2 Zealots go after the drones, and these guys hold the ramp. But Lings popping out. Going to be able to surround at least those few. How much damage can Classic really do with this? It's a pretty big commitment, but I think it's already paying off. Because he can recall out of here as well, potentially. Might just stand and fight and trade out against these Zerglings. But as the Roaches come, the Archon number 1 goes down. Good focus fire in the Archon with the Roaches. Overall, good cleanup. The tail end of that fight, really good for Reynor. Problem is he already lost all of his Queens. He's got to rebuild a few of those. He's trying to go Infestation, more drones, +2 melee, and Roach speed. Zealots are going right, Adepts going left. These Zealots need to get out of here. He needs to pull the Zealots to the right and try to escape down that right side of the map. There is a new Observer in his main, as well as a new Warp Prism arriving. No, you psychopath. Warping 8 Zealots in here is a Chad maneuver. Classic! He's gonna go for another Zealot warping! Oh no! Reynor, has he been too greedy here? Is the constant Zealot harass while taking a 4th and Storm gonna work out? The Roach is actually fighting pretty well. He's gonna defend there. Adept shade in and kill 4 drones. He's gonna shade to that natural now. Let's see how good Classic's focus fire is. He's shift-clicked these drones with at least a few of them. Okay, so he kills 2 drones and then he just lets them fight, whatever. Does focus fire again. 7 drones in total. Zealot insta in the main base, trying to take out another Roach. Not quite able to do it. 4th base has been ransacked. These Zealots doing really well. That's a 12-kill Zealot. 14 kill Zealot. Oh my god. Guys, name the Zealot. Oh my god, the spirit of Phoenix possesses this psychopath. Oh no, he's gonna get hunted down. 14 kill Zealot. What a Chad. Hey, big thanks, Roddy, for the raid. Welcome, Roddy viewers. Guys, we are watching a bunch of games, the best games from the last week of StarCraft 2. We already started with a banger ZVT that you guys missed between Byun and Shin from the KSL. We're now into Reynor versus Classic from the offline RSL finals. Game 1 of this best of 7. So far, you guys have missed Reynor doing what Reynor does best. And we're talking about I criticize them, but I also admire them. Delaying his Roach War until like almost 6 minutes. Trying to defend with nothing but Zerglings. And then Classic going, hello, Reynor, Italian boy. Have you heard about the Lord and Savior? Have you heard the word of the Zealot Archon? Reynor has, as Reynor does, scrambled together an amazing defense without any actual units that are good against what he was defending. Managed to scramble some Roaches up. He's got a Hive. He's got Bane Speed, a Carapace, a Spire coming in. He's going to take gases on his 4th. I'd love to see a 5th base for Reynor. He's been kind of up against the wall here, just trying to hang on. I also, this Observe is really nice for Classic. Gives him some good vision of what's going on. +3 melee, +1 Carapace. Ultra Cavern's on the way. Remember, guys, Ultra Corruptor was the OG way of dealing with Turtle Skytoss back in 2021 when every Zerg was trying to emulate Serral and go for really advanced technical stuff to deal with it. There was one man named Dark who basically realized you could just A-move Ultra Corruptor And somehow being dark, he would always catch the Protoss out of position and just win with Ultra Corruptor in the middle of the map. I'd like to say modern Protoss are a bit more careful and aren't going to give you an easy Ultra fight anymore, but we'll see if REYNOR can channel the Spirit of Dark and catch Classic with what appears to be an Ultra Corruptor transition. I mean, there's no air, so he's not going to go Corruptors yet. He'll probably just start upgrades on them. Broodlords aren't bad these days. Broodlords are actually very good against this army. And he is going to go straight Greatest Spite. I love that choice. Especially with +3 melee. Massively boosts the Broodling damage, even though Broodlings are hot garbage compared to what they were several years ago. Alright, Zealot Immortal comes forward. Lings are going to go for a nice little surround, but is this actually a good fight? Adrenal Glands never got made. Gets a few Zealots. We'll get an Immortal as well. I mean, Zerglings are free, right? There is kind of like a viewpoint you often have with the Zergling style of like anything that's not engaging into the massive Archon Storm is good for me. He's got 7 Ravages, 8 Roaches, 19 Banes. Reynor's 5th base, I think, is toasted. Oh my god, look at this, though. He's moving everything out of the main. Big mistake for REYNOR. He's going to have to send some Zerglings to deal with. It's a mass Zealot Warp in. 11 Zealot Warp in there. Oh my lord, that's going to be hard to deal with. His 5th base is already down. The Zerglings have 2-1 upgrades, but they're still getting 2-shot. The Roaches have to get there as well. Great fight for the Zealots, I think. Storms do come down in the front. He's trying to buy time with Ravages. And he's trying to buy time for Ultras, but there's already 3 Immortals and 5 Archons. Ultras will help against this, but they won't be like an answer to it or anything like that. Oh, the Banelings only get a single High Templar there. Oh, this Prism just won't die. The Queen... Okay, the Queen does get saved by the Ultra right side. Classic's army is kind of distant here. Doesn't have a Warp Prism with it right now. You don't want to get sandwiched, but with a 5th base of his own up, Mothership on the way, +2 Plasma Shields. I think he's got a pretty good setup. He does need ground armor upgrades. If you have 3-3 on the Zealots, they do pretty okay. But once the if the Zerglings get like 3-3 themselves and Adrenal, they will be even 3-3-3 Zealots in kind of, you know, medium numbers. You add a few Archons in there, any splash damage, obviously the Zerglings get destroyed. But REYNOR's been a bit better on those upgrades than Classic. Classic is famous for forgetting upgrades later on. And interestingly, he's sticking to a full ground army. He's adding a Tempest now. I think this is just getting a few Tempests in case the... Oh, we contaminated the Mothership? Oh, REYNOR, you cheeky boy. I love it. Yeah, I think it's just in case Broodlords come out. A couple Tempests is always nice. Ground armor, there we go. He's remembered ground armor and air upgrades. This is good for Classic. I think Classic's in a pretty good spot. Microbial is going to come out for REYNOR, so he's going to go in that direction. Problem is there's too much meat in this army. I think he should go Broodlords. I actually think Broodlords is the most... Like, if he went for 8 Broodlords here... Because he doesn't have a 5th base right now, so REYNOR's going to be really broke. His 5th keeps getting denied. Mass Zealot on the right side. Oh, good defense with Roach Zergling, though. Even sends an Ultralisk. Ultras are very efficient. Corruptors are finally going to deal with the Warp Prism here on the very left of the screen. All the Zealots went down in the right. Okay, some good trades for REYNOR. Some very necessary trades. He's keeping the units lost tab within about 2,500 of each other. He's going to go deny the top right with a few Zerglings, an Ultra, and a pack of Roaches. Ideally, you land Blinding Clouds on this army, as well as engaging with Microbials, but more important than landing your spells is attacking from 2 sides. And this is actually, I will die on this hill. It's like, yes, you need to use spells if you want to win with an Ultra army, but if you've got this many Ultras, that's good. You need more Ultras. You need to get rid of the Roaches, and you need to hit the army from 2 sides. If you can surround this army and land either good Microbials or Blinding Clouds, maybe Neural a whole pack of the Immortals, you can beat it. You really have to hunt for the right engagement because there's so much buffer for those Immortals. There's so many. There's 12 Archons! He's going to go for the counterattack. Classic says, defending is for cucks and tryhards. I'm neither of those. I'm just going to go kill your bases. And I think REYNOR might have to full base trade here. I don't think he can fight this because his army's way too small to fight that. This is only a small section of his army. Like I said, you're not going to find the engagement with only 6 Ultras against 12 Archons and 5 Immortals. REYNOR feels like he has to fight to defend, though. Microbial Shrouds go down here. He lands some Fungals as well. He does have Microbial, but he's only got like 5 Ultras here, and the Overseer's a bit late to the party, which means he didn't have detection for a large part of that fight. He gets absolutely cleansed. You can't beat an army with just 30 supply of Ultras. That's the problem. I think Classic's choice to push here was super clutch. I mean, his tech's all here. He could have, I guess, rebuilt the tech in the bottom right, but I think he just didn't expect Classic to push in there. And that's the danger with splitting your army up in these games, right? Is I think you need to be kind of ahead on the base trade, which is tough into this many cannons and batteries. With Immortal Zealot Archon building at home, but now he's losing all of his tech. He hasn't rebuilt it yet, right? He didn't rebuild the Ultra Cavern. Didn't rebuild the Spire. Big mistakes, I think, for REYNOR there. And Classic's going to try and take a base next to his base. That is just... Oh, a Classic? Sorry, guys. I'm going to give Classic a yellow card. This is disrespectful conduct. Building a Nexus next to REYNOR's base is just... That's actually bullying. We don't stand for that in StarCraft. Naughty. Getting rid of the roaches would be good for REYNOR, but he's lost a base. He's lost all of his tech. Yeah, I think REYNOR got really jolted when Classic pushed in with that. And now what do you got? 8 Ultras, 5 Infestors. Still not a giant Ultra army. Like I said, against that much ground, you need a massive Ultra army. Like, you actually might want to lower your worker count a little bit because his 5th base has been denied all game long and he's kind of been on the back foot. REYNOR hasn't had like the clean start where you like, oh, I got 4,000 minerals in the bank. I can afford to drop down to 60 workers and put everything in ultras. He's only got 3 queens, which is good. So he's not wasting a lot of supply on queens. A big problem players have in late game is they'll have like 8 queens sometimes, and those just waste all of your supply, of course. Dude, don't tell me he's just going to click on it. Oh, dude! Classic runs in. He's like, dude, I've got endless minerals. Just clicks the zealots on the hatcheries, takes it down. REYNOR, he's just been on the defensive all game. Now some carriers are coming out. Carriers are not a terrible unit. They're very like multi-purpose, not great against ultras or corruptors, but they're good against everything else basically. REYNOR's in an uphill battle in this game. I have a big feeling after map 1 here, he's going to be much more aggressive. But you know, I always feel like if you're a bit too predictable, Classic's very good at taking advantage of it. It used to be everyone who skipped Roachhorn and Bane Nest, he'd get them with Glaive Adepts after Oracle. I think he's going to do that this series as well because REYNOR did go for the predictable +1 melee. It's very hard to defend those Adept builds. Ooh, can he snipe an Ultra? The Archon's going to take down one of these Ultras. Not bad, not bad. Goodling Bane counterattack though. Is it enough though? Zealot Warpins plus energy recharge on the battery. Banelings get some good hits. Quite a few probes do fall. But the Zealot Warpins will hold. 12 gateways, very nice. He's only got +1 ground armor, +2 shields. Could definitely have a few more of those upgrades, Classic. Oh, nice fungal! He's going to throw some Neurals out. Microbial Shout, Ultra's going to go forward. Once again, though, it's only 5 or 6 Ultras into a maxed out Protoss army. REYNOR with some really good Neural Microbial combos. Dude, the Spores just killed a bunch of units. Oh my gosh, REYNOR just smashed an army twice his size. And he ties up the unit's lost tab with that. Guys, that army was so much bigger. He just literally, with the Neural Microbial combo there, that was brilliant. That was double the army supply of Protoss compared to Zerg in that fight, if not more. Wow, good fight, but he's got to defend his bases. He's just so broke. Oh, this is so often the way, isn't it? Where you kind of end up in these situations where you need a good fight and you can't get it and you can't get it and then you finally get it, but you're already so far behind you have no bank and you're still behind. It's so often the case where you've had all your economy removed, you have so little to manage except the army, and then you finally find the good fight, but it's too late. A couple cannons, lots of zealots there guarding that base. Ultra Cavern's finally rebuilding. He really should have rebuilt these much quicker in that bottom right side. I think basically if REYNOR moved around with his ultras and counted, it gave up this base, rebuilt the tech. I think it's a much better situation for him. You guys let me know if you agree or not. I think it's a very hard call to make because I don't think he even realized Classic's army was continuing forwards until it got to here and killed that base. And that's very late to make a I'm going to go around your army reaction. Normally you want to see the army moving across much earlier, but I think he just assumed you're going to pull back to defend my Roachling Ultra run by on that base. And then Classic just did the thing that was most unexpected, caught him off guard. Ooh, REYNOR needs a quick cancel. Very good reaction speed. Doesn't have a lot of time there. Zealots with the Observer now, cleaning up in the main. That's why it's always good to have like a cannon in each base, I think. I think you should always have at least 1 cannon in each base in late game because detection helps out. Banelings try to roll in. Max cannon is there. Classic doesn't have a bank, which is surprising to me. On the other hand, REYNOR is a broke boy. No Pokemon cookies for him. Ultra's gonna clean up a few of these zealots. It's just like, what do you do against this right now as REYNOR? I mean, you just have to look for 6 spells. He needs another Neural Parasite engagement, essentially, like that last one. So what you're doing as REYNOR right now is you're basically just hanging in here and you're going classic. I hope you step into a trap. Yeah, I'm going to keep Ling countering, cleaning up your Zealot counters, trying to deny these bases. And then I need you to stumble into my army at some point. Oh, Disruptors are coming out though, guys. Disruptors are actually really nice for killing Infestors. Infestors only have 90 hit points, which is not very much. Disruptors will one-shot them. They get a big radius as well. Ultra's coming forward. All right. Oh, goes for the full engagement. Oh, very cute with the Zerg. It's a great fight. Great fight. He's going to attack the right side as well, but that's only 3 Ultras. He's got to run this army. Good pullback on that side. But dude, he's killing a lot of stuff. I can't believe Classic's going to keep these Archons alive. Well done. Good microbiome. Zealots distract. The Infestors need to throw some Fungals. Get chased down. 1 or 2 does die. Still 13 Infestors. It feels like too many, especially now with the Disruptors, because I feel like he's going to neural like 8 Archons. He's going to be like, ha-ha, I've got you. And then 2 Disruptor Balls are going to come forward, and like 6 Infestors are going to just get blasted. Ultraling Bane is a good trading comp, but Classic already had so many cannons and batteries and the bigger bank. Makes me think base trade counter wouldn't have worked. I don't think Classic was that far out. He had a little bit of a bigger bank, and he had a lot of cannon battery here, but he had nothing on the natural or the main. So if he had more units, he could have cracked through into the tech. It would have forced a recall out of Classic. Otherwise, I think he would have won the game. And it was much better than what he achieved with what he did with his army, because he threw an army away there for free, remember? I'm not saying it would have worked, but I think it was the best choice he had, and I think it could have worked. So I think it was much higher percentage than fighting with half of his army into an army 3 times the size. Yeah. It's not about something being 100%. Remember in StarCraft, it's always about what is the best option. What's the highest percentage option? We're trying to find it. I'm not saying, oh, REYNOR auto wins the game. I'm just like, I think that was the right decision in that scenario. I'm not 100%, but I'm probably like 80% sure. And I'm 100% sure what he did was not the right choice, fighting there. Obviously, rebuilding the tech is an obvious thing he should have done, but like I said, hard to do that when you get shocked by an army. Maybe just a bit better job of tracking the army to see what was happening earlier was the real key in terms of execution. Oh, okay. Those 2 balls miss. If he can land some Neurals, that'd be nice. Could have committed. He could have committed to kill those Disruptors if he thought it was worth. Problem is, it's a very front-on situation, and Classic knows exactly what he's going for. It's 9 Ultras versus 8 Immortals, guys. Luckily, 3 Immortals are at home. Those Ultras do go down. Nexus does survive. Watch out for the feedback and the Disruptor shot! Big Disruptor shots, feedbacks, Blinding Clouds landing, Microbial Shrouds landing. Another Disruptor shot goes in. A bunch of Neurals go forwards. REYNOR doesn't have Overseers. He doesn't have any Overseers. He doesn't have any Overseers. He's relying on Fungal for detection. Oh no! All of his Overseers got bopped and he was relying on Fungal. Oh no, GG. He's already in a bad spot. He only had 2 Overseers with no Overlord speed. And they just run in and die to the Archon Storm feedback stuff, right? Yeah, they're up here. And then they fly to the front because they're not attacking units. Which is why you got to remember to try and like Overseer pervert mode back here, one of your Overseers, so it doesn't run in and get itself killed. But you're trying to Microbial Shroud, Fungal, Parasitic Bomb. Well, not Parasitic. You're trying to Microbial Shroud, Parasitic Bomb. Microbial Shroud, Blinding Cloud, and Fungal, and maybe Transfuse, and maybe dodge Disruptor shots with your Infestors. It's one of the last things you're thinking about, right? Is Overseers. And I think he loses the fight probably anyway, but you could see the Ultras running back and forwards there because they couldn't see the Archons. Don't think he wins the fight either way, but maybe he breaks that front line and gets through. I don't know, probably not, but either way, great game for Classic, really well played. And remember, this all started with the Archon drop in the main. I think there's like that sequence was one of the most beautiful things. REYNOR saw the Archon drop coming, he tracked it and literally stopped it from warping in Archons. And REYNOR went, haha, I'm safe. He also built a 6-minute Roach Warren after seeing the Prism, just in case. But then Classic, the genius, he's like, well, I just warp in the Archons at home, go home, pick them up, and I commit anyway. And it actually works so well, because REYNOR was just being so greedy, and he thought, oh, I've pushed you home, now I get to dictate where the fighting happens. All of his Lings are on the wrong side of the map. If the Lings were here with this straight away, they could have definitely helped keep these queens alive a bit longer. But even though he kills the Prism, he loses all of his queens, and he's on the back foot for the next few minutes. So, classic, really good build choice, and a good way to punish a guy who is known for skipping Roachor and skipping Baneling Nest. My question is, does REYNOR play safer in the next game? Or does Classic just keep hitting either Zealot Archon or Glaive Adept attacks to punish the fact that REYNOR wants to open +1 melee every game, at least in the past few series I've seen from his? GG, well played. Nice game 1. All right, guys. Game 2 for REYNOR in the bottom left side of the map. Evil Heart. Ooh, don't know this map very well. Classic in the top right. I'm sure the players don't either. It's a wall off that doesn't have a ramp and is also reasonably wide. Third base up here. We got 4th up the top, 5th down the bottom. I do love that RSL's playing, you know, with some different maps. Oh, what's in there, guys? It's a Baneling! Baneling in some water. That's cool, man. In a tube. Oh, they got Banelings in tubes all over this map. And what's that, guys? Is that an Infestor? Oh, no, that's... Is that some special Zerg unit? What is this, guys? Cool map. All right, we'll have to look around at what's in all these tanks all over the place, eh? Yeah, more Banelings there. Oh, very exciting. Yeah, they got tons of Banelings in all these little cases. I guess they're studying the acid, man. Anyway, guys, REYNOR in the bottom left side of the map. I think this is a great map for an all-in because you've got no ramp, reasonably wide natural. Looks like a short rush distance. I would Roach Queen all-in as REYNOR. On the other hand, if you know your opponent's likely to do that as Classic, if you do a 6-gate blink, like pretty committed blink pressure, after a double Oracle opening, that's perfect for dealing with that. Two queens on the way. This probe's being very annoying in the main as Classic. REYNOR's just building 2 Zerglings for now. Overlord from the front. Interesting that second pylon's hidden up here. I mean, I really want to see REYNOR do an all-in this game, guys. I want to see him punish Classic hard. Oh, it's Stalker first. He wants to get the Overlord. I don't think there's enough dead space in the back to hide it. And look at that. He pretends to go south, so the Overlord sees the probe going south. And he hides the Stargate over here. But no, he's not going to because the Overlord's changed direction. So now he's going to build it on his natural. He's hiding his tech right now. Is it a Stargate? Okay, Okay, so Classic right now is just going to chrono probes. Because he's delayed his tech so long to hide what he's doing. Classic's trying to play some mind games. And now he's going to throw the tech down. That's the latest Stargate of all time. I think this build's garbage for Classic, guys. As long as REYNOR doesn't panic because of the lack of information, I actually think this is a pretty bad opening. Overlord should be able to hide on this pillar from the Stalker, I think, as well. As long as he doesn't lose an Overlord, if he quickly moves it to the pillar, he should be okay. No, you gotta move to the pillar, mate. No, REYNOR, you gotta go to the pillar. You gotta go north. Oh god, he's gonna lose an Overlord. 5 Zerglings and a Queen coming forward. He's building 8 more. Link speed's almost ready. I don't think he's willing to give up that Overlord. I think REYNOR will defend it, and with Link speed being right on time, Classic does pull away. It's going to be 2 Adepts and a Stalker, and the super delayed Oracle will be coming out. Now, I guess REYNOR might end up going like Roachor second gas here. Yeah, he does go Roachor because it looks like a Glaive Adept build as far as he's concerned. Oh, it's good. Split these Lings up. Oh, he actually got a good surround on the Adept. Oh, he got a beautiful wraparound there, didn't he? Oh, he gets both Adepts in the probe. Brilliant. He could attack the Stalker as well. He actually could have headbutted that Stalker. Classic trying to move out front. Kind of crazy, but I guess he's got an Oracle. So he feels like that's going to keep him safe. No, this is crazy value, though, now. He doesn't want to show the Oracle, but he has to. He has to show the Oracle. Oh, REYNOR's all over this game. Cancels his Roach Warren. He says, I don't need that. And he goes back to droning. Now, that being said, REYNOR may have found good damage, but he's down 8 workers. He needs more. He does need more damage. I think running in the natural would be huge right now. Classic's in disarray. off of this overly cheeky opening. Still has not fixed that Stalker in the natural wall, finally. Does get on top of that. Twilight Forge is on the way as well. Reynor's got 3 hatcheries up. He's got 3 spores he'll have and 5 queens. And I think he will overtake in the droning with how late this third is. Oh, is it worth going for this round? Yes, it is. The Adept's not properly in the pocket. Oracles do kill 5 drones, though. Big kills with the Oracles. Is it worth losing so much at home, though? Luckily for him, he had a 3rd Oracle coming out. It will push these lings away. Manages to get 3 of those Zerglings. 5 drones going down as well. This game's still pretty close, man. Classics kept this competitive despite losing so many units early on. He's going to play Blink off the triple Oracle as well. As I said, you've got to be worried about like Roach Queen pushes on this map. Roach Run got cancelled before and then rebuilt. Yeah. I think it was worth the cancel. He needed the minerals to build spores, drones, queens. Reynor's already building roaches. I think he's queen walking. No overlord speed yet. He should have started it if he was going to do a queen drop. He's only got 4 gases. Reynor's going all in, I think. Queen's pulling back. Oh, queen does go. Oh, it survives. Oh, the oracles take big damage. Okay, that's really nice. 7 more drones coming in there. Reynor can't be stuck being defensive in this game, but I think he might be feeling like he's just a bit too like off the read of what's happening. And he's just going to drone up. Well, if he's going to drone up, he needs a 4th base and to think about the next step. Spire! Okay, I don't mind it. 5 roaches, 10 zerglings on this map. This is not bad for Reynor. I was like, I need him to be decisive the moment that lair finishes, and I think Spire is pretty decisive. This is a fake queen walk right now, guys. The Roachling, unfortunately, not really able to fake it that well, and Classic's going to call him out for this, potentially. Still looks pretty scary, but notice... Oh, he does. I was going to say, there's no cannon battery going down. He does build it now. If Classic pokes forward, though, and sees he's not actually pushing, he can cancel those. Right now, Classic doesn't know what's going on. We're on Classic's camera. He sees nothing there. Cancels. Good cancels. Really good. Just keeps 1 cannon at the front. Builds a few more gateways. That'll bring him up to 6. We're still watching from Classic's camera, guys. Those oracles need to be scouting the spire. Now, to be fair, Reynor's like 4th base is really late. It's just started. And so he's not able to get to 6 gases. Those first 8 mutas could be a real problem because Classic's so defensive right now. Like, he's so worried about roaches, lings, banes, hydras. He's not thinking about mutas. His alarm bells have to start ringing. When he sees so few roaches, he might start realizing something's up. Oh god, he doesn't know, guys. The mutas are about to start. Let's go back to everyone's camera here. Chasing these lings around the map, that might be a bit of a tell in of itself. Why have you got so many zerglings? Because if he sees this army, he's going to see so few roaches, not that many other units, and it might start to ring alarm bells. 8 mutas are on the way. Surprised only 8, guys. He's got so much more money, does Reynor. He could build like 16 mutas for this first wave. Yeah, there we go. A few more do queue up. Oh, good trap with the Ling Stalker. The Lings with the Oracle Stalker, sorry. 4th base coming out. No cannon battery in the main. The natural does have a cannon coming up. I don't know, man. I feel like if Reynor went mass mutas a bit earlier, maybe, but Classic's macro is insane. Where's the Spire? Spire's to the left. Mutas have already snuck out. He does not see the Spire. He sees it pretty late. Baneling Nest. This is a very slow Ravager Bane style. Dude, these mutas need to do big damages. 15 Mutalisks. There's a cannon already there. Makes it a bit harder. He actually targets the cannon. Interesting. So he opens up that move. Already pulls back a weak one. Picks off a couple Stalkers as well. A couple Stalkers. Cannon, 5 probes. Not a bad start. It's not the crazy momentum one would often like with surprise mutas. 5 more drones are on the way. He's got a pretty good, decent Lingbane Ravager army. The problem is that, like, Classics at 150 supply. Lots of Psystorm. He's got Archons. Building a few Phoenix, lots of Stalkers to help back him up. The Ling Muta is going to try to join up on the natural. Oh, good wall in. Gets himself an Oracle, does Reynor. 78 workers, 80 workers for Protoss. Protoss is ahead on workers. He's looking great. The Roach is a bit too slow to close in there. Roach speed finishing, at least he'll get a bit more maneuverability. Reynor still with no 5th. He's going Hive, but what for is my question. Classic's still not sure if it's mass muta or not, so he's building a second Stargate. But he can also just add a fleet beacon and go Tempest or Carriers for late game, right? This is just, he's just trying to be like, just in case this does end up being a double down on mass muta, I'm ready for it sort of thing. I actually think Classic's position is rock solid. REYNOR is going to need to have faith in his late game. And he's playing late game, I think, from a better position, more control. But on this map, where do you expand? He's going to take the gold in the corner as his 5th. Very exposed base. 6th base will probably be over here. Ooh, another Oracle Snipe. That's good. I'd love to see Overlord speed and an Overseer. Observers saw way too much of what was going on in the last game. And his Overseers were a bit too slow. I think we're just going to see Ultra Infestor again. I think that's the late game that he's favoring. And this time Protoss doesn't have the double Robo, doesn't have the Immortal count because he's open Stalkers. So it is a better situation for Ultras. Muta's pulling away. Oh, run. Oh, God. Two Mutas already down. Baneling's going to roll in and get stopped by the cannon. And he gets himself 1 or 2 probes. Alright, what's the hive tech? He's clicked Adrenal Glands. Ultra Cavern goes down. Carapace has started. +2 melee is almost finished. Phoenix range is coming in. 8 Phoenix with range. That's kind of crazy. I mean, they'll shut down the Mutas, but... And they can pick up the Banelings. Picks up the Banelings, which is nice. Can pick up the Roaches as well, and then defend with Zealot Warpins. Whoa! Giant engage in the middle! Oh my gosh, I'm sorry for missing that. I will rewind to that later at the end of the cast, guys. 11 minutes 20. Oh, at the end of this game. Remind me to go back to 11:20 at the end of this game. Looks like massive storms landed. And you can see in the units lost up, look at that, picking up even Zerglings in the main to clean those up. Oh, he lost very few probes, only 10 in total this game. Oh my gosh, 3,000 deficit. REYNOR's trying to go into Ultras now. He's got Kindness Plating, but he's rebuilt mostly Zerglings for now. It's Lings and Roaches. Still an abundance of Storm, mass cannon everywhere. Is a really big problem. Mutas are going to try and depower the cannons. Of course, the Phoenix are going to ruin those Mutas, even though some of the cannons do get depowered. The Ling Roach gets slaughtered on the right side. REYNOR is running into a stiff wall of Protoss. And he's getting absolutely mauled. Yeah, if you go kind of delayed Mutas, like his Mutas weren't particularly fast. I feel like you need to just go all in on them and get 5 base, 10 gases up and go full air. I don't think it would have worked because Classic's that good, and I think he had a good spread of Cannon, High Templar. But the reason that style can work is you just create enough chaos that you want to kind of get rid of the High Templar early. When there's like a Stalkers here, he's trying to build Phoenix, and there's like 1 Archon or 2 Archons and 4 High Templar there with all the Storm energy, and your Mutas fly over and just kill them before they really have the defenses. And that's what I really like as a way of playing Mutas. The sort of, I'm just going to build 15 Mutas. I mean, I also don't think he should have got for the cannon and the Stalkers in the natural. I could be wrong. You guys, I think he should have just killed as many probes as he could and just ignored the cannon and then flew into the main and circled with his Mutas. He's getting wrecked right now, man. Even the Phoenix are trading decently, because the Corruptors don't have any upgrades, neither do the Phoenix, but he's got range, and he's got the numbers advantage. Transfuse should keep these Corruptors alive, at least for now. And a few of the Phoenix go down, but I don't think Classic cares. He'd rather replace those with better units anyway. He's like, yeah, do I even want to keep these alive? You know, he's kind of thinking about it. Massive difference in the units lost. I would have liked to see the Queen Walk all in actually be committed to. I wonder if that could have worked in this game. But I think it's a good map for it, you know? I definitely don't think we want to be letting Classic get to late game. I mean, look at this. Just going to build a billion cannons and storms everywhere. Oh, good catch on these Immortals. The Ultra Zergling gets in there, gets 3 Immortals. Very slick maneuver. REYNOR's once again going to be playing late game from behind, and that's not what you want. His Lings are going to get slaughtered. You need Banelings to clear this. It's too many cannons. I actually don't think he can beat this many cannons, can he? The Lings going down. Oh, a lot of the army AFK. The Lings down there. It looked like Protoss move commanded through the Zerglings for a second there. A few Stalkers went down, but still not enough for it to really matter. Stalkers chasing Ultras in the north as well. Classic is all over this game right now. It is a lot of Stalkers, which aren't the best late game unit, especially not when Microbial and stuff comes out. But look at the just lack of fear. Classic's so rich. He's on 14 gateways. Got 3/2 upgrades, +1 armor coming in, which, as we know from the previous game, this is where he stops upgrading, guys. Despite having unlimited money. We've seen this against Serral many times, right? They played a lot of late games over the last year, and he just completely forgets about upgrades at a certain point. Oh, I jinxed it! +3 starts. Nice. I'm very happy Classic remembered that. You got so much money. It's just so useful later on, man. That's awesome. He's got Banes, but not many. I think you need like 20 Banes to roll into that. He's going to go for it. I think he's got to get in the middle of the cannons if possible. It's a good detonate there. Gets 3 cannons and a pylon. And take out some of these pylons and cannons, try to split the Zerglings up so they attack different things. But quick recall with an Archon and a bunch of Stalkers. Maybe could have fought that, since Stalkers are kind of trash, but a bit hard to make that call. 7 Broodlords are on the way. There's only 2 Phoenix and a Mothership. There's no Overseers on this map, so I have a feeling Mothership Cloak is going to ruin Reynor's dreams once again. I think if you're a Zerg player, watching Classic is one of the more painful things. Because the man understands that what a Zerg like Reynor wants is him to move in the middle of the creep and get surrounded. And instead, Classic will slowly expand mass cannons and very patiently avoid bad engagements while looking for good engagements. And that's not what Zergs like to see. You know what was funny, guys? I think because his Mothership was over the dead space there, a bunch of those Stalkers bugged on the recall. They actually couldn't complete the recall because the Mothership flew over immovable terrain. Kind of funny mistake. Broodlords are going to siege the bottom right side. Hey, very nice. Very nice. That's a good move. Reynor will lose his 6th base on the left, though. Get back to 5 bases versus 5 bases. He's got 5 Infestors. He's making a few Corruptors in here. Tempests are now being built to deal with the Broodlords. Stalkers are going to dive. Classic realized he's got way too many Stalkers in his maxed army. Happy to try and trade these out for a Greater Spire! Oh, that's so nasty! Oh, Classic! Playing like a proper D-bag right now. Remember, that's what you're meant to do in StarCraft, guys. Oh my god, the Lings are stuck behind each other. Don't tell me he loses the Ultra Cavern. There's no way. There's no way. And there is actually no way. 70 hit points. Ultra Cavern does survive. He's built 2 new Spires in Ultra Cavern. Vesta does get picked up, but it will get saved by the Corruptors, the Queen's Transfuses. His Phoenix will go down. That's a good way to trade those Stalkers out, right? Where are the rest of them, by the way? They're just in the army? Oh, yeah, there's 7 Stalkers in the army. Pretty good maxed army. 2 Disruptors for the Infestors once again. 3 Tempests. 4 more Tempest buildings. Here, 7 Tempests. That's a lot of Tempests, but dealing with a good Broodlord count, so it does make sense. Broodlords come forward. Bunch of cannon kills. Not bad. Bit of free value there. Reynor's closed the gap to just 7,000, or 6,000 even behind in the units lost. So he's been trading pretty efficiently these last few minutes. Can he keep it up, though? Pretty good Fungals. Broodlord's turn to fire on those Stalkers, but you got to get away from the Tempest. He's got to run, run, run. He's got to throw a Fungal to stop the chase. He turns for the Neural. This is a tiny army. Reynor once again trying to fight with a tiny army. He's got to be aware this is only a small army. He should have thrown Fungal and just ran, ran, ran. Oh, you have to pick your fights really well in this matchup. And you can see this is a move that Classic's done so much against Serral as well. He will always move his whole army around in a blob and rely on mass static. You can't fight him with only a small section of your army. This is like a special. A lot of Protoss try to split up to defend their bases, but I've watched so many Serral versus Classic games in the last year, and Classic does not defend his expansions. The reason he's often losing to Serral is Serral just keeps picking away his expansions, smashing the cannons down. He won't even leave a single High Templar with Storm to defend. He wants his whole army in one blob, and that means when you fight him, you need a massive army to deal with that. You can't, even if you land some good spells, it's not enough. And you can see Reynor here, he splits his army off. That's when Classic commits to the push. And that's when Reynor goes, oh, you're a bit exposed, so I can land good spells. The problem is, he doesn't have enough army to capitalize on those good spells. A few good, you know, Neurals or whatever, it's not going to make a difference if you've only got a handful of units. But now he's got a big Ultraling army. Time Warp does go down. He's got plenty of Overseers this time. Much better than last time. He doesn't have any Microbials though, or Blinding Clouds though. And the Immortals are doing pretty well in this corner, trading out. What? Did 2 Ultras just phase through the Immortal Archon? Did you guys just see 2 Ultras appear out of the ground? I don't know if the replay just glitched, or was there eggs? Oh, was there eggs? There must have been eggs in the middle of that fight. There must have been, I didn't even realize there was eggs in the middle of that fight. 2 Ultras spawned on top of the army. I couldn't see them underneath everything else going on. That was actually really good timing of those Ultras. REYNOR with a pretty sick engagement. He's got Ultra Ling down here. Fungal, catch the boys. Ultras, kill the probes, don't let them escape. Oh, the probes are going to escape. That's kind of a bummer, man. He's going to try and run away, throws the Fungal on the Tempest. He will lose at least 1 Infested. The Oracle, oh, I hate Oracles in this situation when you don't have anti-air. Doesn't quite kill the Nexus. REYNOR's got a freshie. He's got a fresh base in the top left. If he'd killed this one, he'd be in a good spot. Oh, I mean, maybe not good, but playable, right? With this base still mining a bit of Minerals Gas, this one now resaturating. Classic's building Corruptors, Carriers, sorry. So REYNOR's only going to have 10 Corruptors against 5 Tempests, 3 Carriers. Not enough Corruptors. Unless he gets the perfect engage. He's also got no spellcaster, but he's got a good Ultra Ling army, 26 Lings, 6 Ultras, but with 4 Archons to deal with the Lings, 4 Immortals to deal with the Ultras. I think Classic has a very well-balanced army, and REYNOR just a bit too broke in this game. Finally found himself some good engagements after everything else that had gone wrong, but similar to the game 1, it's REYNOR's finding good engagements a bit too late in the game, and I really think him committing armies when he's got maybe a third or a half of his army into the main army of Classic. 2 games in a row he's made that mistake. I hope he's got a coach or a Serral or someone watching the games live, whispering in his shoulder after the game going, hey man, just chill, wait for the correct engagement because you're fighting with only a small chunk of army. Zealots are going to come in. Has been really good to see REYNOR back in form recently, by the way. Series against Maru was pretty legendary. Dude, look how much cannons there are. As I said, like I said, he wants to grab his whole army and just move it around as one big army. Classic truly believes the answer to PvZ is centralizing your power and just having one big giant army, always willing to give up bases and to push through his opponents instead. He did it in game 1. He's done it again now in game 2. Very hard to deal with. You need to use usually Ultra Ling is good for counters, but in a way, if you've got enough money, Banelings are even more effective because they clear cannons well and they clear Zealot Warpins really well. So usually, like, I do like the way Serral will often still have like 3 or 4 Ravages from the early game, and they just keep running in with a counter attack over and over again. And whenever it gets defended, the Ravages survive. He adds more Ling Bane and goes in again, and like, it's surprising how much value. When Serral's in control of the game, you see him get with these counters against Classic without ever committing more than about 20 supply. Maybe a little, maybe occasionally 25, 30 to those counters, but it's never like a crazy huge number. Pig, why are you making F2A move sound fancy? Well, he actually does use control groups. Classic's an old school gamer. So hero F2s, don't get me wrong, I'm sure he does have. He might have everything on one control group, but then he's also got High Templar on a second, Oracle on a third, Tempest on a fourth, like that sort of thing. You can tell with Hero, he's just randomly control-clicking things to control it. Classic's a slower, older gamer. His APM is much lower than a lot of the other top pros. It's actually very high in this game. 350 is pretty high for him. But he's planning and precision over spamming, you know? 13 Corruptors are out. Bunch of Ultras. REYNOR's got the top left up. He's got this base as well. There's still chance for REYNOR in this game, but it's an uphill battle. He's got way more income, though. Problem is, Classic's going to have a Hypermax, right? Classic's not rebuilding probes. He's going to get 12 Immortals against 6, 7 Ultras. Yeah, that's good. I mean, even if you land Sick Microbial plus Blinding Cloud, you've only got 1 Infested Viper. It's not going to be enough. If REYNOR has, he's gonna need a very good engagement. Good counter. Good counter. Beautiful cleanup on these cannons. Yes, this is great value for him. Can he get a bunch of the probes? That's where the real value lies in these sort of attacks. But the probes do escape. Oh, Ling's in the top as well. Nicely done. I would have liked to see those Lings continue. Shift click a few more of these boys down. I said 6 or 7 ultras, now chat spamming 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7. You know, it's funny because I actually, the origin of that meme, guys, it's actually, there was a bunch of studies asking men what they thought their average length was. And the answer was always 6, 7, they found. Now, this was really funny because obviously like they're all overestimating. It's not actually 6, 7 at all. They all just say 6, 7, right? And they were studying that whole phenomenon. So what's interesting is I actually was part of that study and I answered 6, 7, but what they didn't realize is it was an American study. I'm Australian. So I actually was being brutally honest. And they're like, no, you're like, you're like coping here. It's not actually 6, 7. You have like, you're below average. And I was like, no, I know I'm below average. It's 6, 7, but it's centimeters. And they were like, oh, so I think the whole study was actually flawed methodologically, that they weren't even aware of that till I told them. And that's why I think the 6, 7 meme is a travesty because, I mean, you're not even taking into account different forms of measurement or specifying inches or centimeters. I mean, what really is the validity there? What can I say, guys? Saving science one step at a time. That's my job. 17 Corruptors, 8 Ultras, 3 Infestors, 1 Viper. Is it going to be enough to take down this army? That is a huge Protoss army. Up 10 army supply. I mean, this is going to be really hard to pull off. Zerglings clean up a Zealot. There's too many cannons there. You need Banes to bust that. Zerglings could take out this base. Potentially. 3 more Infestors trying to build. Dude, we're about to see a crazy fight. Here we go. Classic's going to go for it. Can REYNOR he's trying to bait him into the choke point. What's REYNOR to chase him into the choke point? He's got 2 Disruptors as well. Drones are hiding. Lings are going to go deal with this top left. Oh, he's looking for feedback. Feedback drop, feedback drop. He gets 1, 2 Infestors with the feedback drop. Saves both High Templar. That was a very sexy move, dude. Classic's so good at StarCraft. He runs forward, lands a storm, picks him up and saves him again. Oh, that was a very good way to initiate this fight. But more Infestors are coming out. Viper's still got energy. Time Warp to initiate as well. I don't think REYNOR should be defending this base. He's kind of cornered himself. Now he's going to have to fight. His army's isolated down south. The Infestors, one of them gets popped by the Disruptor. Fungal goes in. Corruptor's trying to dive forwards. Oh my god, he's getting mauled. He's getting mauled. I think he should... wow. Don't get me wrong. Classic was in a good position. But wow. Wow. I'll go back to 11 minutes in a sec. First of all, I think REYNOR should have given up this base and gone around. I actually think base trade is one of your best ways to win here. I think you're never going to fight in this area. I think the moment Classic was hanging in this area, you're never going to get a good fight here. It's just not going to happen unless half of your army sandwiches from behind and you completely get full serve. It's not going to happen. You need like a full surround. So I think this set up a concave and then hope we land a good fight. It's just not going to work, number one. Number two, 8 Ultras against 12 Immortals. I don't know, man. I mean, amazing initiation by Classic as well, but you're going to need the best microbials, good angling, and I think, honestly... give up the base. His 2 Spires were here. That's why he didn't want to give it up. He doesn't want to give up his Spires. I think build a Spire here. Send Ultras across. I know he's going to kill a base and recall, and you're going to have to rebuild the base. But I think this is kind of what you got to do here against Classic style. Classic doesn't have a lot of mining, doesn't have a lot of infrastructure. And I think you got to keep going around, and then in the midst of that chaos, find the surround. But when his whole army's here, he's setting it up, and he's baiting you like this, I think you just have to give up this base, run the drones to the top left, and I think you're okay. But the Zealots distracted him, and then REYNOR kept pulling back, and he got way too much of his army stuck behind the minerals, and that really hurt. All right, guys, and we did promise a showing of the earlier fight. This was like 45 Banes, a handful of Lings and Roaches. Oh, God. Oh, that was a slaughter. Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. Let's watch it again. Oh, Zerg players, shut your eyes. Protoss players, get your lube. Oh my gosh. Jeebus. Oh, I think he was just distracted because there was fighting going on. He was getting a run by in. So he just noticed a bit too late. Great game 2 win for Classic. All right, guys. REYNOR's in shrubs, man. He's down Poo-Poo Creek without a paddle. He's going to have to get his hands dirty to get out of this series. We're going on to Avex Botanical, which I think is quite a large map. It looks huge. Classic in the bottom right. Honestly, I think it's Nidus Swarmhost time. Oh, this is the map where we saw Nidus Swarmhost in Shin versus Maru, which I think was RSL as well, right? I think it was the same tournament in the open bracket, which is actually pretty cool. Cool little ramp, by the way. Got some little bits sticking out of it. It looks like this is like a fence they can lift up. They want to stop traffic driving up this ramp. This whole thing kind of looks like a boat ramp, doesn't it? Looks a little bit like a ramp that can be like raised and lowered, you know? Anyways. Yeah, this is Botanical, guys. It's a map with almost no trees on it. They have like single trees and a few plants in these little isolated areas, and yet it's called Botanical because Avex is a troll. I see hatch gas pool, very standard opening for REYNOR. Now, yeah, other than, I mean, Swarmos is an option. Mass Muta is probably not amazing here. There's a bit of dead space in the back, so you can circle the bases. There is decent dead space. Mutas is not terrible. I can't imagine it's a good map for like a roach all-in. I mean, I don't think any map's ever terrible for a roach all-in, but it is kind of choky. You got a nice high ground natural ramp to defend. I think if you can predict that Classic is going to go charge and you can go Swarmos, that would be good. Other than that, maybe REYNOR can just clean up his early game. Remember, usually ZVP is about early game, giving you momentum. Like, the success of strategies, the flow of the game is much easier or harder based on how that early game goes. And we've seen REYNOR losing 4 or 5 drones, sometimes 6, 7 drones in total to the Oracles. That's too much, right? Even though he's defended the depths quite well, the Oracles have been, I think, doing more damage than they should. And I think there's maybe just room for a few small adjustments in the early game to clean that part up. You clean that part up, the rest of ZVP flows much better. So there are a few trees and some grass outside the natty. It's not too bad. Just 2 lings to start to chase the probe. Chat says this map's nutty. It's usually 5 minutes or 2-hour long games. Really? It has a lot of bases, right? 5 bases just in the straight line on either side, so that's 10. And then you've got 4 bases each, including a... Oh, it's gold with no gas, eh? But 3 full bases. It got, so that's, what was that, 8? You each get 8 bases and a pack of gold patches as well. Yeah, it's a big map as well. Overlords are building. Depth's coming in as well. Manifix, don't know what you meant by that, but that's a slur where I'm from, so easy with the language, thanks, mate. I don't know where you're from and what you mean by that, but careful. Depth's coming into the base. Slings are there. Oracles are on the way as well. Yeah, you guys are just speaking German? Okay, yeah, be careful. In Australian, that's a slur. Nexus is up on the 3rd, nice and early. This time the Oracle's done no damage. Much cleaner early game. Gonna go 4 queens. Only 4? Okay, 5th queen starts up as well. And it looks like he's gonna do the solar. Skip the spore in the 3rd base. Trying... No? Okay, he does have the spore. Good call, it's fine. Chat says if REYNOR doesn't win by the 12th minute, Classic has it on a massive map like this. Yeah, I can't disagree with that analysis. I think it's really hard to find fights with ultras on this map. Then again, REYNOR might just be even more desperate if it goes late game. Do pure mass ultra ling run bys and actually do better because he's just like not even trying to fight front on. And I think he really needs to put Classic into a very chaotic zone and either force him to split his army up or just keep going for the base trade. Because Classic right now is stubbornly keeping his army together to the point where he's leaving openings. And as I've said, he always falls behind against Serral because of that. Sometimes he still kills Serral because keeps his army together, finds that one big fight that he needs, right? But it's a dangerous style he plays. REYNOR should be pulling these drones away. Slow reaction. Very slow reaction for REYNOR. Transferring drones right past the Oracles. That was sloppy. That was actually very sloppy for him. It's like the little details. When you see the Oracles come in, you've got to check your rally and pull the drones back. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to do that. But I think REYNOR, being one of the greatest players in the world, definitely something he should be doing. Luckily for him, Classic doesn't find the opening. Stasis trap goes up. Drones, he should pull the queen. Queen's going to get frozen. Yeah, good moves. Great moves. Super fast 4th, Evo Chamber, and a safety Roach War in this game. Is REYNOR going to play straight Lurker, guys? He hasn't done that yet in this series. It is an option. Yeah, he's going to go straight Lurker. Straight Lurker. Hydrogen Infestation Pit the second his lair finished. And that's the not something you really expect for REYNOR. REYNOR doesn't have any roaches though, and he's skipping roach speed, so when he plays fast lurker, it is straight to lurkers as quickly as possible. But can he defend his base from this blink pressure? No melee upgrade, he's got himself the stasis traps. Queen's coming over. There's 3 oracles turning their lasers on, trying super hard to kill this hatchery is classic. REYNOR! Oh, he doesn't go to set off the stasis. He's gonna lose his 4th base. Luckily, he's got a 5th. Adepts come in, only kill 1 drone before getting surrounded, yet he recalls 2 of them. Sick play here by Classic, man. Gets the 4th base. Yes, there's a new 5th on the left, but it's only halfway done. I don't think it's the end of the world losing the 4th for REYNOR there. Like, at least he kills, like, an Oracle and an Adept. It's okay. But if he had that 4th up, he could have had a viciously fast 8 gas lurker timing. Now, he should take these gases right now and already transfer drones to them. One of the big things I've been critical of just about every Zerg player for many years is they often wait till the 4th is ready and then they go, oh, I should send drones. This could already be mining gas right now. They take 20 seconds to build. Big delay. He's doing an almost pure gas build. This is a huge mistake for REYNOR. What's he focusing on right now? Lings are on the other side of the map. 6 drones coming forward. Now he takes them. You see what I'm talking about? This happens all the time. Classic's going +1 in charge, very delayed. Oh, he's going to take the middle 4th. That's cute. I thought he'd take the one on the right. That's actually really hard to attack into because this choke point is brutal. That's clever. Clever Classic. It's a late 4th, though. Only at 7.5 minutes. 9th gateway. Robo's coming in. He's got tons of Stalker Storm. Stalker Storm's not good against lurkers. Not particularly, anyway. Okay, the gases are now finally mining on that 4th. Hydra's. Oh, he gets 1! 1 Oracle goes down. Big snipe. Remember, Oracles are your best detection against lurkers. Lings are still ready to run by this base. If you can get, you know, full surface area on the cannon, hold position, guys on the probes. Cannon and a battery is not going to defend this side on its own. +1 range almost finished. Will he have gas for +2? A lot of the time with these builds you don't, because you want to spend it all on lurkers and immediately go attack. Because if the Stalker Storm gets in your face and you're stuck defending with lurkers, they're not as good. It's going to buy him time to get out, whether it's Tempests or Immortals or Prism Zealot counterattacks. If you can get lurkers sieged on a base in the next minute, there won't be much of an answer for Classic. REYNOR having a pretty good game so far, guys. 5th base coming up in the north as well. Sorry for the double sound, guys. Fixed it for those watching live. Archon Zealot High Templar coming forward. The Lurker Hydra's here. Great first push. He's got to get rid of the cannons. Gets rid of the cannons, which means Classic loses vision of the Lurkers. Huge move. Lings come in from the right and quickly run away. Good call to pull those Lings back. Dude, this was a brilliant move with the Hydras moving up here. He doesn't have groove spines. Remember, these Hydras only have 5 range because he had to put all the gas into the Lurkers and new Hydras and Lings coming across this map. Oh, he's going to get cleared, though. He will get cleared. Can he kill a lot of Protoss in the process? Lings coming in from behind. The Storm from behind zoning so well. Brilliant hold for Classic. Brilliant. Most players would have died there, but Classic survives to fight another day. And he's going to move forward and try to pick off some Hydras, but maybe a bit too cocky there. Loses a whole bunch of these Stalkers chasing into that. Good Storm, but Hydras quickly pull back. Ling's still rotating around. And more Hydras, Lurkers, Ling's coming across. He's got Adaptive Talons. I'm not sure if that's that important. I kind of feel like Hydra range might actually be better. And he still doesn't have gases on his 5th. Only at 80 workers. Probably can't really afford it, to be fair. Natural's starting to run out of minerals. One patch ran out very early, so he must have been triple stacked on that patch from early on. There's no reason that should mine out before 11 minutes unless you triple stacked a patch. Small mining error for REYNOR. Will slightly lower his income. I'm splitting hairs right now. He's in a great position. Lurker Hydralings coming forward. Stargate Tempest transitions just started. Classic completely out of position. Huge blunder for Classic. Left his open flank on the left side. His whole army moved to the center. And that is a mistake he is going to be sorely regretting. Blinking his Stalkers forward. Revelation comes down. Good Storms, but no, this is a sloppy position. He should never have given up this area in front of this 4th base, or 3rd base, I should say. And REYNOR, of course, instantly capitalizes. REYNOR does not need many mistakes for a Protoss player to find the opening. This was very well done for him. I think Classic should have split his army. Half the army should have stayed here, half on the right side. With Side Storms, you can split your army up quite a bit. But that was a bit sloppy. Should be GG now. Classic's got almost no units on the map. Prism gets pushed back. Immortals are there. Hydras still don't have Groove Spines. I think REYNOR forgot about that upgrade. Honestly, I think REYNOR plays his best StarCraft when he's skipping upgrades, cutting corners, and just getting in your face, though. And that was a very nice fast lurker build for REYNOR. Even with his fourth being sniped, everything else was so streamlined. Gets in there, punishes Classic, and finally gets a point on the board on what I would, on paper, think is one of the best maps for this particular matchup for Classic. Great win for REYNOR. All right, guys, he's got a point on the board as we go to Magnetic North. Damn, I didn't realize there's so many of these new maps that these guys are playing. I guess they're vetoing a lot of the ladder maps. I knew there was quite a few maps, but now we're getting to the best of 7 stage. We're really seeing the players doing that. Now, Classic's going to go for a Gate Scout, the most conservative and worst opening in this matchup. Me and Harston are part of the either don't scout at all or scout early enough to block the hatchery crew. We believe that in a matchup where Zerg very rarely does anything cheesy or aggressive at the start, getting away with no scout at least 1 in 3 games is a good idea. But the Gate Scout, I mean, you can still harass with the worker, and some people do get triggered by it. To be fair, like I said in that last game, REYNOR's mineral patches were running out really early. I don't think that was a result of the mineral harass, though. Yeah, REYNOR just got bullied off this patch. He should have just, if you're not going to be good enough at microing to fix that, you should just send a drone to attack the probe. REYNOR's not even noticed that his worker got bullied off here. I have noticed that REYNOR gets thrown off a lot more by this probe harass than most players, especially when he's playing cross server. I think he's fine against it when he's playing... Actually, no, wouldn't they both be playing LAN? Yeah, that's weird that he's been bullied off this patch. He's got 3 on this. This is really bad for his long-term mining. This should not be reliable damage, and this doesn't work against a lot of Zergs, but this has screwed up his mining really bad. So the way this works, guys, is these workers are not working at 100% now. That last work is maybe 50% mining. He's still getting bullied off these 2 patches, which means also this mineral patch is going to mine open so quickly. It's going to mine open so quickly, which means you're going to have less patches to mine from. Meanwhile, this patch here is not being used efficiently. REYNOR has been distracted, and that mineral harass has been incredibly effective. I can't believe REYNOR didn't notice this. It's really bad, man. That's actually huge. Because this is just going to slow down his mining for the rest of the game, for like the next 10 minutes. This is going to actually end up being like hundreds of minerals advantage to Classic already, if REYNOR doesn't happen to pull that drone onto gas or something like that and fix the minerals. Which I don't think he's going to do. At least not for a while. Stargate's coming in. Classic shading forwards. Big U on REYNOR's side, 100%. He's down 2-1. He looks hopeless in the late game. I want him to be able to do something other than just slowly dying to Cannon's Battery Storm and late game Protoss Ball moving around the map winning. Right now, I have the utmost respect for how Classic's playing this series. It is a very effective way of playing, a way in which guys like Hero are not effective. They're not effective at playing this style because they just run in and lose their army. Classic's patient, way more patient than most Protoss players, and that's why he's so good at this. And that's a great way to play against REYNOR, who loves to be aggressive. He hates playing late game in general. He likes movement. He doesn't like late game standoffs. He wants it to be a multitasking battle, and Classic has been very good at avoiding that so far. These Lings running away! Oh, REYNOR with some big basic mistakes this game, guys. The Adepts waltzing in and getting 3 drones. Really well done here by Classic. 3 drones to 2 Adepts, not a bad trade at all, not to mention the mining time. And he forced 14 Zerglings out. REYNOR's already 10 drones down. There's nothing in the wall off right now. What the heck? Oh, REYNOR could have run in and just killed him! REYNOR literally could have ran in and just won the game. He had no 3rd gateway unit and flew his Oracle across the map. Classic! Had his pants around his ankles. He saw REYNOR running at him. Luckily, REYNOR got distracted by the probe, ran off to the side, and Classic had time to pull his pants up and get back into a defensible position. Oh, damn. That could have been... I mean, that was sloppy for Classic. It was an opening. Unfortunately for REYNOR, he doesn't find it. He can recover in this game, but it's a bad start. 3 drones, 4 Zerglings, and that mining was messed up. At least the mining, I think, is a bit more balanced now. No, he's still only got 1 worker on this patch. Oh, you're kidding me! Now it's 3 on this patch on the left instead. It's going to cost him. Ooh, nice wraparound with the Lings. But if the Oracle arrives, it might make this too expensive. He only got 1 Adept. That was not worth it. Loses a lot of Zerglings. Now Triple Oracle's heading his way. How many Queens? Only 4 Queens and 3 Spores. I think he needs to pull every Queen. When there's 3 Oracles and you've only got 4 Queens, you need to bring every Queen together to defend them. Because otherwise they can just dive 1 base. 1 Queen, 1 Spore won't be enough. Luckily, he does have 2 Queens here in the middle. which will help. Good job for REYNOR, not losing any more drones. Lings are going to try and counter, hoping to pull these Adepts home as he doesn't have many more Zerglings. He's building 12 more. And these guys are going to go for the probe. Good micro for REYNOR. Oracles are up front. REYNOR needs to pull every drone to the front right now. Every queen, I mean, not every drone, sorry. All right, good job with the Zergling. Sets off the stasis trap. He's got a bunch more coming out. But he's got to pull these queens to the front dark style. Oh, Lings ignore the stasis trap. It's a problem. 2 queens get frozen, which means he doesn't have enough anti-air to deal with the Oracles. The Oracles do have their lasers on now. The Adepts are able to get in and do more drone damage. It's been a rough start for REYNOR. He had such a good start in that last game, and you could see the difference in the results there. But this time, the Adepts are finding trade-offs. The Oracles are all still in the green life. This has been a very rough early game for REYNOR. We'll see if the Italian Stallion can bounce back. He's going to go for a Hydra Den. I don't think it's Lurkers. I think it's either a Roach Hydra all-in or a Hydra Bane style, but desperately needing a 4th base. 6 minutes only. And that 4th goes down. Oh, is this a 8-gate blink? 8-gate blink against Hydra Ling? Honestly, if REYNOR starts massing Hydras and goes Groove Spines first, I think he could hold this. It's an 8-gate blink all in, guys. You can see he's got 6 at home, 7th gateway there, 8th gateway on the front with multiple pylons. He's going to try and warp in on the front and push with triple Oracle, mass Blink Stalker. Oh, he gets himself a queen and a few Zerglings. Very nice trades here for Mr. Ray. That's his name for those who don't know. We're tight like that. That's why I call him Mr. Ray. Oh, dude. All the queens went down, which means now the Oracles reign supreme. And that's it. That's it. He's got him. He's got him. The drones are getting slaughtered. The Overlords are all exposed. The Stalkers are going after the drones rather than the Overlords, which does make sense. Lings are getting blasted. So much damage. And now comes the first warp into Blink Stalkers. They're going to dive on top and try to focus these Hydras. He does try to focus them. The Lings are doing pretty good damage there, actually, on these Stalkers. Dude, if REYNOR survives this, it's actual insanity. But no, 1 Oracle goes down, but so many more Stalkers coming. I think just numbers-wise, you don't even need to micro as Classic. You just need to run forward and force the engagement. Drones are forced off the line. It's 50 workers for REYNOR. And you've got 8-gate Blink Stalker coming in there. A massive commitment. And this early game went south very early. I think Classic, with those dominant late games in game 1 and 2, put all the mental pressure on REYNOR. And I think you could see maybe wasn't quite as focused in this early game as he could have been. Queen goes down without the transfuse landing. Hydras try to come forward. They do have Groove Spines. Hydras are good against this. I do like the Link counter, but the Oracle energy recharges, turns on its laser, and sends him out of there. Queen Hydra trying to defend. Nice transfuse to survive. Stalkers, though, blinking a Hydra. Or focusing a Hydra, sorry, and blinking away, I should say. Still only 3 base for the Protoss, but when you're on 50 drones as a Zerg, Protoss don't need no 4th base. Protoss just needs to dance all day and slowly wear you down. Zealot and a battery, more than enough defense for those 5 Zerglings. Templar Archives goes down behind it. Classic doesn't need to all in with this. He's already in an amazing position. Just pick off a Hydra, pull back. Pick off a Hydra, pull back. And keep swapping in Stalkers. Bunch of Zealots coming in. They're going to go around the right side to counter that base while the Stalkers push here. Beautiful play. Classic. Very defensive micro. He's not really taking risks. Just chilling. Zealots will defend the 4th base as well. That Zealot no longer on hold position. Stalker still pushing the left. Units lost tab is 2,000 in favor of Classic. Once you've got the numbers advantage like this, Zerg doesn't have the mobility, the numbers to wrap around and shut your Stalkers down. It feels like an impossible uphill battle, you know? 30 supply lead, massive Blink Stalkers on the front line. REYNOR's trying to make Tech Lurkers as a comeback mechanic to get back in this game. It's a desperation play. Seen it work very rarely, but it does sometimes pull it back, and he's got to try something. Zealots on the right side. Hydraling going for those Stalkers, but they say, nah, we're just a distraction, man. Let the Zealots kill the 4th. You're back to 3 base. I have a 4th coming up. Could start Psystorm whenever he wants as well, or he could just make a ton of Archons. It looks like Archons are going to be the play. Zealot Archon will be the next step. Spend all that gas and then go for a big A move, I think. Little Zergling run by REYNOR, trying to go across the map. No Evo Chamber upgrades for REYNOR. It's just the heavy Hydras. Does have muscular augments now, which is nice. Gonna find himself a probe and a cannon. Might get a few of these extra probes as well. Oh, the Stalker Zealot Archon just blinks on top. REYNOR taps out. I'll show you that final move. I think he's just like, nah, look, he's just shoving. I can't defend this army. When the Stalkers are blinking on your Hydras, you know you're done. Classic with a very smooth and dominant game 4. All right, guys, that was a rough start in the last game. Bottom right here for REYNOR, top left for Classic. Classic in the top left, REYNOR in the bottom right. And honestly, yeah, that early game was rough. Letting himself get bullied on his workers so they weren't mining correctly. I think it just showed that maybe he was still thinking about what he had to do in the game or worrying about late game rather than focusing on the here and now. Because I always noticed in my games, if I'm too busy thinking, oh gosh, how am I going to win this? I don't really have confidence. Those are the games where I don't notice the little basics and little mistakes slip through. And that last early game was rife with mistakes. So I think REYNOR's going to be you got to focus on his basics, have a build order in mind, and just commit to it. I feel like almost, you know, if you have a game like that last one, you almost need to take the decision making out of it. Don't try to scout and react to it. Just have a build order in mind, commit, and try to get your mind back focused in the present, you know? I was losing weight, but then I found cheesecake, says Brian Father. Dude, I actually ate a giant cheesecake, 6,000 calories for my my birthday. I'm very impressed I managed to keep losing weight. Well, stabilize my weight through my birthday week while eating that cake. The wife did help eat it. That was a very good New York baked cheesecake. But I actually ended up replacing dinner with cheesecake like 3 days in a row. Just had like a fat slice of cheesecake. It was so good. It was actually amazing. Oh, he's getting bullied again, man. Dude. Look at this. He's been bullied off one of his close patches 2 games in a row. He's got 3 on a far patch. Yeah. No. Solar always does the same response that I do, which is you just attack the probe. Rogue does the same thing. I think if you're not going to pay attention, you're going to let this happen. It's much easier to just attack with the drone. Even though you're technically meant to do... REYNOR's technique is meant to be more reliable. You need that eye to detail. So he's once again going to have pretty bad mining until he gets harassed in his main and moves his workers around. That's the problem, man. Stargate's there. Steps coming forward. Stargate's almost finished. Probe count growing. Chrono on the natural. And he's going to go for the next chrono on this Oracle in the main. It's a well-timed Stargate. Alright. How well does REYNOR defend against the first Oracle is my big question. He's already got 12 Zerglings. So he wants to kill these Adepts, shut them down, and then counter. There's once again no third Adept. So he's once again going to be wide open to the Lings just going across the map. This is so greedy for Classic. I guess it's a feature, but this Oracle should stay at home. And yet he's rallied the Oracle across the map. This is so insanely greedy. I think he has REYNOR pegged as being in too much of a defensive mindset. But this time REYNOR's going to go around with a pack of Zerglings. Brilliant play. He should go straight. Go straight. He's wasting too much time. If he just runs in the base, these Lings are going to do huge damage, but I think he's going to go for the third. Dude, I can't believe Classic's getting away with this frigging wide open natural. There's no way. Please go. You got to run in. He gets in. He gets in the wall off just before the Lings arrive. Oracle flies in, gets himself 2 drones. Decent defense. 2 drones is not too bad for the first one. There's an Oracle at home. Second Oracle's ready. Couldn't snipe the third. And REYNOR commits to 16 Zerglings. Doesn't get value for it. Unfortunate for him. Don't get me wrong. That allows you to delay your Spore Crawlers on your natural and third while only having 4 queens. He's droned up well afterwards, but he's not going to be able to delay that. Not with 3 Adepts there, 1 Adept in the wall off in the natural. I do like the opening being on the inside of the wall, but it's always a bit awkward walling off there between the edge. In general, much better to have the gateway there and have a big, thick choke point. But I think he likes this because he could wall off with a full gateway, whereas otherwise the pylon is too far forward. I don't know if he misplaced the pylon accidentally, but if he did, going for the choke point here is actually a really smart adjustment for Classic, who's once again going to go charge +1. Lair and Roachhorn. Overlord speed. Overlord speed, come on, you know you want to do this. When Reynor hits 100 gas, I want to see Overlord speed, guys. No, don't build an Evo chamber. That's for longer games. You got 100 gas, go Reynor. Overlord speed, come on. Got 100, go for it. No, he's still droning. He's not gonna do a queen drop. He's gonna macro up. I think Reynor might just play lurkers again. It went well for him on Botanical. See if it works here. Classic, rotating in the natural. Queens are well positioned this time. My question right now is how much does Classic commit? He's cutting probes. It's okay. No, he does take... Okay, he's going to take both gases. But he's cut probes. Okay, he builds a few more probes now. Okay. It's an 8-gate Zealot Archon. This is the exact same strategy from game 1. This time, though, Reynor is building roaches, which counters it. Oh, is Reynor going to do the... He might do the Basilisk Ravager max. The Basilisk Ravager max is a nasty build. Protoss players hate this build, man. Because it looks like you're teching, because you take a lot of gases in a 4th, and then you even take both gases on your 4th. The trick is you don't build tech with the gas. All you do is make 100 Ravagers. It sounds stupid, but it's kind of genius, because Protoss is like, is it Mutas? Is it Hive for Lurkers? What's he going for? Is it Hydra Bane transition? And then they're just like, lol, I have 100 Ravagers, idiot. I think he might be doing that build. It's a really nasty all-in, man. Because it's just, you just get up to so many Ravagers so early. Oh, gets an Oracle snipe. Oh, here we go, though. Queens, get behind the minerals, get behind the minerals. Good queen positioning. Great queen positioning. He's going to get the Oracle. Almost, not quite. The Roaches will defend. He's going to lose his queens, which is unfortunate, because then the Archons can pick up and drop around in this prism. Oh, he's going to warp in more. Reynor, you need to run. Reynor needs to run. He needs to micro these Roaches back. That's a big commitment to Zealot Archon. He's got a kite. Reynor wants to trade Roaches rather than losing the 4th base, which I think is the right call. But I think he was maybe a bit too slow to pull back, and the Zealot Archon's trading shockingly well. Look at the trade. No way! Zealot Warpins are so fast! It's only 20 seconds between Zealot Warpins. I only learned this the other week, guys. It's crazy how fast you can pump Zealots. And Reynor needed to pull back those Roaches and get a big ball together. He should have given up the 4th base. Not giving up his 4th was a big mistake for Reynor. The Queen's caught out of position, which meant he couldn't stop the Prism, and it meant his Roaches didn't get together in a big ball. Classic finding an excellent trade against what should have been a position that counters his style. If Reynor had pulled back, given up the 4th, and then countered with a Roach Ravager max, even off 3 base, I think Classic dies. Yes, tail end of the fight's better for him. He kills the Archons of the Prism. Still down 2,000. 14 drones, 36 Roaches. Excellent trade for Classic. Classic's going Storm, Blink, Immortals, and a 4th Nexus. And he knows he just needs to defend the counterattack. We've got 3 Queens. Going to get inside the Dropper Lord to deal with the air, but honestly, 1 Oracle I don't think is the end of the world anyway. He's going to pull back right now. Is Reynor pretending he's not all-inning? He's 100% all-inning. He's already sent his Overlords across. He's trying to act normal, but the Overlords explain to Classic, excuse me, sir, I'll be arriving at your base post-haste. Please prepare a welcoming party, as we may require a shower after our long journey. There will be much dirt and grit from the road. Well, don't worry, Reynor. Classic is indeed a good host. He's got plenty of showers. He's just warming up the shower right now. The water tank's getting ready. Don't worry, it's almost... Oh, and Reynor even delays his arrival a few seconds to make more Ravages. Oh, God, those storms are going to be nasty. It's a lot of storms. It's 2 Immortals and a lot of Stalkers as well. First storm, excellent. I love the blink forward. Picking off a few units there. Hold the ramp is the right play for Classic. He's got so many batteries to the left as well. Oh, beautiful play. Blink some Stalkers in the natural to deal with the Zergling drop. Very well played. Reynor is going to tap out, having taken way too much damage. GG, well played. And really interesting to see. Classic, I think, took a bit of Reynor's soul in those first 2 games. And I think it really came back to the one thing we talked about in those late games, which was Classic keeps his whole army together and is just willing to give up bases as long as he can get the frontal fight, and Reynor accepted the offer for the frontal fight. I think that's the biggest thing which Reynor needs to adjust mentally next time he's playing Classic. Classic is not going to defend his expansions. You have to base trade him with that ultra style army in the late game. And if you are going to try to get the fight in him, You can't do it with 5 Ultras and a few Infestors, or 7 Broodlords and 6 Corruptors and 2 Infestors. There was first 2 games, it was all Reynor fighting with a small chunk of army against Classic's whole chunk, and then the game was way in Classic's control from that point forwards. In this particular game, this final one, I do think he should have had enough Roaches to defend. You guys let me know. This is a crisp time. This is a very committed Zealot Archon timing. But the fact that Reynor has stopped at about 68 workers, is massing Roaches. He should have been okay, but because he didn't see this coming until now, these Queens getting isolated is already a good start for Classic. But I think Roach speed is in time. It's only 9 seconds away. He just needed to think defensively. Reynor literally looked at this and went, my army beats your army. Which is right, I think, but he's trying to go for the Archons, and that's a bait. Obviously, the Archon looked exposed. You get the Archon sound that's big, but you need to be in a ball, stutter stepping away from Zealots to be effective. And the bigger the Roach Ball gets, the less effective Zealots are. Against Archons, you want to spread in an arc and fire at them and kind of kite them down, because Archons have such crappy range, even shorter range than Roaches, much shorter than Ravagers. But he kind of went into the Archons are the threat mindset. I'm going to run forward and spread and try to focus them. But look how effective these Zealots are in the bottom side. And then more Zealots coming in. Reynor should already be grabbing all of these Roaches and running back in a ball and stutter stepping back and forth. Look at how many Roaches he's lost by the time he abandons this position. Even at this point, these guys are still standing. He should be microing everything together. I know he doesn't want to clump up for the Archons. He's already lost 7 Roaches. And this just delays him getting the critical. You need enough Roaches to be one-shotting the Zealots, or even one-shotting 2 Zealots. He's trying to spread back in an arc. He should be spreading in a ball rather than an arc. I think I'm very confident he didn't have enough firepower to be spreading back. If he had 30 Roaches, he could spread in 2 different directions like this, because they're still going to be good chunks for fighting the Zealots. But really good Archons dropping on top of the Roaches was really slick micro. If you've got Queens shooting the Prism, Classic can't be quite as obnoxious with this Warp Prism. So obviously unfortunate his Queens went down, but I think if he pulls those Roaches back in a ball, he's in a much better position. There's like a critical mass. You buy time for Roach speed, +1's going to kick in during the fight, and it's going to be a much more playable position. Either way, hats off to Classic. It's such a crisp timing. The fact that he has that much economy, hits just past 6 minutes with that much Zealot Archon, beastly play, and Classic goes to the grand finals. GG, well played.